Greetings, Bardflies. It is I, your humble artistic director, Jeremy. Hi. So tonight we are doing our Shakespeare RAW-ish performance of William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. Hooray! But before we do anything else, we need to call the players to the stage. And now the boxes start to appear. Magic. We're close.
Yes.
Almost there. Almost got everyone.
Loading.
Yep, up. And we got everyone. All right. Now, for those of you who've been to one of our live shows, normally these players come up one by one and pull a name out of this hat. Due to the fact that we can't be in the same room with each other right now, I have put all of their names into this promotional stein. So rather than coming up one by one, I'm going to pull a name out of the promotional stein and then a character out of the hat, and they will find out who they're playing. All right. First up, Bonnie.
Oh.
Bonnie will be playing Claudio.
Claudio.
Hooray.
Hey.
Next up,
I just think Claudio looking straight.
Michelle. Michelle will be playing Vergus. Michelle is Vergus, and Vergus is also Friar Francis.
Oh.
Yes, so, yeah. Have a quick change. Jason Myers will be playing Benedick.
Benedick, I am a big color.
Hello.
Yeah.
Nicole will be Borachio. Yeah. I should have put them into a larger thing that had a larger hole for me to reach into. Yes. Jerod will be playing Margaret.
Margaret, oh my.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a gentle woman.
Wallisch will be Don Pedro. Joshua Klingman will be Beatrice. David Kaye will be Leonato.
My favorite Ninja Turtle.
Yes. Mr. Brian Bear will be
A lady.
Dogberry.
A dog.
Yes.
Yes.
Lady dog. I know what that is.
All right. Jim Donaldson will be playing Don John. Mr. Nick Fear will be Hero. Love you too, Nick. And that's our cast. Now everyone else, go away for a second. Now, for those of you who have never been to a Shakespeare RAW show, either live and in person or like this, these actors literally just found out who they're going to be playing. We do this because we want to do things the way they were done in the time of William Shakespeare, or as close as we can replicate given the circumstances. Which is confusing to some people, I'm aware, but you have to remember it wasn't like today went back then. You know, back then, shows going up on Friday, you were lucky if you got the script by Tuesday. So the only time they had to actually rehearse was, you know, those few days in between. And they spent most of their time, like actors even today, in bars. So the very first people who got to hear Shakespeare's work works performed were the people who happened to be in those bars. And that's what we're doing for you. Hooray! Which also includes a drinking game. For those of you who have been watching our stay-at-home shows, you will know the game. Anytime someone touches their face, we drink, because we're not supposed to do that. Okay, so that. Yes, normally we have a tip hat for our shows. We don't have that, obviously, because you're not there to put dollars in a hat. However, if you go ahead and look at the description, which I believe I'm pointing at right now, I'm not certain. Maybe it's that way. But if you look in the description, you will see a link to Diverse and Resilient, a group here in Milwaukee servicing the LGBTQ community. They're doing a lot of great work. And, you know, just coming off of Pride Month, we figured that would be a great organization to donate to. So any money you would feel like giving to us, just give it to them. Because we don't need it. They do. So, yeah, that covers that. Next show. So 2 weeks from today, July 15th. I don't know about you guys, but, you know, everything going on right now, it's got me a little blue, a little sad. So what we need is a little Christmas. So that's what we're doing. We're even though we fully intend to do Christmas Carol in some way, shape, or form in December like we normally do, we're doing it again in July. Because, you know, Christmas in July, it's a thing. And we all kind of need it right now. So come back here, 7 p.m. on July 15th for that. And let's see, if anyone has any other show type things to plug, we'll do that at intermission, and that is about halfway through, as these things tend to be. Other than that, yep, that covers everything I need to cover. Players, are y'all ready? I have no way of knowing. That was really, sounds good. Then I now bring to you William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing, RAW. Act 1, Scene 1, before Leonato's house. Enter Leonato, Hero, and Beatrice.
I learn in this letter that Don Peter of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
I pray you, is Senor Montanto returned from the wars or no?
What is he that you ask for, niece?
Nick, we have no audio.
Unmute. Unmute.
Fucking trying to unmute, thanks. Oh, my cousin means Senor Benedick of Padua.
Faith, niece, you tax Senor Benedick too much. He hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
There is a kind of merry war betwixt Senor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
I'm coming. Alas! He gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1? It is all the wealth that he hath left, to be known a reasonable creature. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother. He wears his faith but as the fashion of his hat. It ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady, the gentleman is not in your books.
No, and he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young square now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
Enter Don Pedro, Don John, Claudio, and Benedick.
Signor Leonato, you are come to meet your trouble.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter?
Mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir? Then you asked her?
Signor Benedick, no, for then you are a child.
If your Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear lady Disdain? Are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she have such meat food or feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must be covert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat, but it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
Dear happiness to women, they would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood. I am of your humor for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall escape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and 'twere such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parent teacher.
A bird of tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer, but keep your way, in God's name. I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
Don Pedro.
Signor Claudio, Signor Benedick, my dear friend Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at the least a month.
Let me bid you welcome, my lord, being reconciled to the prince your brother. I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please, your grace, eat on.
Your hand, Leonato. We will go together.
Exeunt all except Benedick and Claudio.
Benedict, did thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looks on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me, as an honest man should do, for my simple true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
By his faith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other but as she is, I do not like her. If that makes any sense.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her, that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yeah, and a case to put it into.
In mine eyes, she is the sweetest lady that I have ever looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, I see no such matter. I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again?
Re-enter Don Pedro.
Guys, what secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonato's?
He is in love. With who? Yeah, that is your Grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
Amen if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my 2 faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at that stake. That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will have a recheat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me, because I will not do them the wrong of mistrust, to mistrust any. I will do myself the right to trust none. I will live a bachelor.
I will see thee, ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord. Not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood with love than I will get again with drinking, pick out mine eyes, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of a blind Cupid.
Well, as time shall try. In time, the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
Savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedick bears it, pluck it off the bull's horns and set them on my forehead, and let them signify under my sign, here you may see Benedick the merry man.
Exit. Borachio enters and hides.
My liege, your highness now may do me good.
My love is thine to teach any hard lesson that may do thee good.
When you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with my soldier's eye, that liked but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war's thought have left their places vacant. In their rooms come throng, soft and delicate desires. All prompted me how fair young Hero is, saying, I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou will be like a lover presently. I know we shall have reveling tonight, so I will assume thy part in some disguise and tell fair Hero that I am Claudio. And in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then, after to her father will I break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
Excellent. Scene 2. Enter Don John and Borachio.
But the good year, my lord, why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
When I have heard it, what blessings bring it? I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach and wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath taken you newly into his grace.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. And it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though, I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man. It must not be denied that I am a plain-dealing villain. I am trusted with a muzzle and enfranchised with a clog. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, Let me be that I am and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. But what news, Borachio?
Oh, I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Ooh, the most exquisite Claudio.
Even he.
A proper squire. Which way looks he?
Mary, on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him in any way, I bless myself every day. You are sure and will assist me?
Oh, to the death, my lord.
Exeunt. Act 2, Scene 1, a hall in Leonato's house. Enter Leonato, Hero, Beatrice, and others.
Was not Count John here at supper?
Sorry. I saw him not.
Tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedick. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, ever more tattling.
Then have Senor Benedick's tongue in Count John's mouth. The one is too, and half Count John's melancholy in Senor Benedick's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world, if I could get her goodwill.
I, my troth, niece, thou will never get thee a husband, if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed, for it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns. But to a cow too cursed, he sends none.
So by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just if he send me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I had rather lie in a woolen.
You may like not a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man, and he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore, I will even take 6pence in earnest of the beer ward, and lead his apes into hell.
Well, then go you into hell.
No, but to the gate, and there will the devil meet me like an old cuckold, with horns on his head, and say, get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. Here's no place for your maids, so deliver. I up my apes, and away to St. Peter for the heavens. He shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, faith. It is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, Father, as it pleases you. But yet for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, Father, as it pleases me.
Well, needless. I hope to see you one day fitted with husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth.
Don't you remember what I told you? If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
Everyone puts on masks. Enter Don Pedro, Claudio, Benedick, Don John, Borachio, Margaret, and others, all masked. Normally there'd be music here playing, but Facebook takes videos down if there's music playing, so we're not going to do that.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, especially when I walk our way.
Oh, speak low if you speak love.
He draws her aside.
Will you not tell me who told you so? Nor will you not tell me who you are?
No, you shall pardon me.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. Well, this was Signor Benedick that said so.
Let's see.
Just a second. Lost my spot. I am sure you know him well enough.
Not I. Believe me.
Did he ever make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester. A very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him and beat him. I am sure he is in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I knew the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which, peradventure not marked or not laughed at, strikes him into melancholy.
Music changes.
We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I will leave them at the next turning.
Big dance. Then all exeunt except Don John, Borachio, and Claudio.
That is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Claudio, come back. You're still
Can't
there.
hear you, man. You gotta unmute yourself.
Claudio.
I'm supposed to be. Are you not Signor Benedick?
You know me well. I'm he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is an... Oh, I'm John, by the way. I don't know if you could recognize me, but never mind. You are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you, dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
Well, I heard him swear his affection.
Oh, so did I too, and he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Exeunt Don John and Borachio.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict. But hear these ill news. With the ears of Claudio, 'tis certain so, the prince woos for himself friendship, is constant in all other things, save in the office of affairs of love.
Re-enter Benedick.
Count Claudio,
Yea, the same.
come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow about your own business, County, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Exit Claudio.
But that my lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me. The prince is fool. It may be I go under that title because I am merry. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person. So it gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Re-enter Don Pedro.
Now, senor, where's the count? Did you see him?
I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady.
The lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling gift upon gift with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man at a mark with a whole army shooting at.
Look, here she comes.
Enter Claudio, Beatrice, and Hero and Leonato.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker now from the furthest inch of Asia, bring you the length of Prester John's foot, do you any embassage rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. You have no employment with me?
None but to desire your good company.
God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Exit Benedick.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedick.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for a single one. Marry once before he won it to me with false dice. Therefore, your grace may well say, I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then, sick?
No, how? Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad nor sick, nor merry nor well, but civil Count, civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true. Though I'll be sworn, if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his good will obtained. Name the day of your marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and in grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much, lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let not him speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yes, my lord, I think it poor fool. It keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good Lord, for alliance. Thus goes every one to the world but I. and I am sunburnt. I may sit in the corner and cry, hi-ho, for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I would rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands. If a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord, unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me, I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you, for out of question you were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord. My mother cried, but then there was a star danced, and under that I was born. Cousins, God give you joy. By your grace's pardon.
Exit Beatrice.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's a little of the melancholy element in her, my lord.
She cannot endure to tell here of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedick.
Oh, Lord. My lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on church till love have its rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just 7 night, and a time too brief, too, to have all things answered, my mind.
Come. You shake the head at so long a breathing, but I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedick and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights waiting. Watchings.
And I, my lord?
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
Benedick is not the unhopefulest husband that I know. I will teach you how to humor your cousin that she shall fall in love with Benedick. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedick that, despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods.
Excellent. Scene 2. Enter Don John and Borachio.
Is so. Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yeah, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me. I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting lady to gentlewoman hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
Go then, tell Don Pedro that and the Count Claudio that you know that hero loves me, They will scarcely believe this without trial. Let them see me at her chamber window, hear me call Margaret hero, the very night before the intended wedding.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can. I will put it into practice.
Exeunt. Scene 3, Leonato's orchard. Enter Benedick.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool, when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn, by falling in love. I have known when there was no music with Claudio, but the drum and the fife, and how he had rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to steal good armor, and now he will lie 10 nights awake at carving a fashion of a new doublet. May I be so converted to see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it, till he hath made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Good she shall be, not certain, wise, or I'll have none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her, fair, or I'll never look on her, mild, or come not near me, noble, or not for I an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color pleases God. I don't care about that. The prince and Monsieur Love, I will hide me in the opera.
He withdraws. Enter Don Pedro, Claudio, and Leonato.
See you where Benedick hath hid himself? Come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me of today? That your niece, Beatrice, was in love with Signor Benedick?
Oh, aye! Stock on! The foul sense. I did never think the lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I either. But most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedick, whom she hath in all outward behaviors seemed ever to abhor. I hope the hidden man is not muted. I really hope.
He is apparently muted.
I'm not muted. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Now we can hear you, yes.
Is it possible?
No, not at all, because you're very hidden.
Ooh, hidden.
You have no idea you're here.
Is it possible? Is this the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith! Like enough.
Oh God, counterfeit! There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why? What effects of passion shows she?
What effects, my lord? Oh, you heard my daughter tell you how?
She did indeed.
How? Pray you. You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedick.
I should think this a gull, but that old fellow speaks.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedick?
No, and she swears she never will. That is her torment.
'Tis true indeed, so your daughter says. Shall I, says she, that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This says she now, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there she will sit in her smock till she have writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now to talk of a sheet of paper, I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Oh, when she had writ it and was reading it over, she found Benedick and Beatrice between the sheet.
That!
Oh, she tore that letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knows would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ to me. Yea, though I love him, I should.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears at her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedick, God give me patience.
Oh, she doth indeed. My daughter says so, and the ecstasy hath so much overborne her that my daughter is sometimes afeard she will do desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
It were good that Benedick knew of it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it, torment the poor lady worse.
And he should, if it were an alms to hang him. She's an excellent, sweet lady, and out of all suspicion she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything but loving Benedick. I pray you tell Benedick of it, and hear what he will say.
Were it good, think you?
Hero thinks, surely she will die, for she says she will die. If he love her not, and she will die ere she make her love known, and he will die if he woo her rather than she bate one breath of her accustomed prospects.
She doth well. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it. For the man, as you know, hath a contemptible spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Let it cool the while. I love Benedick well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If you do not dote on her upon this, we will never trust my expectation.
Let us send her to call him into dinner.
Exunt Don Pedro, Claudio, and Leonato.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They say the lady is fair, 'tis a truth, I can bear them witness, and virtuous, 'tis so, I cannot reprove it, and wise, but for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth, but that he cannot endure in his age. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Oh, here comes Beatrice by the state. She's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Enter Beatrice.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in for dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure then in the message?
Yeah, just so much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a doll withal. You have no stomach, senor. Fare ye well.
Exit Beatrice.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. That's as much to say, any pains that I take for you is as easy as thanks. If I do not take pity of her, I am a villain.
Exit. Act 3, Scene 1, Leonato's garden. Enter Hero and Margaret, and Beatrice severally.
But are you sure that Benedick loves Beatrice so entirely?
Beatrice hides.
So says the prince and my new betrothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did. They entreated me to acquaint her of it. But I persuaded them, if they loved Benedick, to wish him wrestle with affection. And never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full a fortune, a bed, as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
Oh, God of love! I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man. But nature never framed a woman's heart of powder stuff, and that of Beatrice, disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes.
And therefore, certainly, if it were not good, she knew his love, lest she make sport at it. Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No. Rather I'll go to Benedick and counsel him to fight against his passion.
When are you married, madam?
Every day. Tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel, which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
Oh, she's limed. I warrant you. We've caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by halves. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
Exit Hero and Margaret.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell and maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than purportingly.
Exeunt Beatrice. And that's Act 1, folks. The trap has been laid. They each think the other one is in love with them, and they've said, I may as well love him back. That's totally a strong basis for a relationship. All right, so like I said, that's the end of the first half of the show. We're going to take a quick intermission. When we come back, I believe Brian's got a little something for us.
Sure do.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. Thanks for checking in.
Yep, I'm here.
Yep, good to know. We're going to take a quick 10 or so. If you haven't yet donated to Diverse and Resilient, I believe the link is that way or that way, whichever side the description is on. I'm looking at a Zoom screen right now, so I don't know. See you in 10. Bye. Hi, friends. I'm back. Hey, Brian, are you there?
I sure am. Hey.
Awesome. I now welcome Mr. Brian Bear back. Or actually, because his character doesn't show up for the second act, I introduced Brian to the stage screen thing.
Hi. Screams, applause.
Yes.
Okay.
For those of you who aren't have never been to one of our performances, Brian is not only a gifted performer, or gifted actor, he's a gifted songsmith as well. And he writes a song for every show we do. And this is no exception. So now we turn the screen over to Mr. Brian so he can do his thing.
All right. Put on these cool glasses here. That'll make sense. All right, let's do this. Here's the story of two lovers who can't stand one another. They like to be a bother as they trade wits. They can't seem to shut up. Oh, he's a puppet soldier. She's a maid to a great house, but Benedick can be a drill. They both swear that love and marriage is a total crack of shit. He says, I can't stand you. She says, oh yeah, me too. But I'm pretty sure they're both in love. Benedick can be a kiss. Now their friends think that the two should be together, cause clearly they know better, and so they steal some letters and they say things and spread some rumors round. Oh, their plan, it starts to work for her. Enemies fall in love, but Benedick can be a truth. But then there's some bullshit with Don John, and Hero gets kind of on. So Beatrice says, Ben, if you love me then, you gotta have a duel and slay a Claudio. Benedick can be a trip. Usually I'd have an electric organ solo, but I don't have one of those. So we'll just go into the third part. But it's a comedy after all, and everything still works out. Benedick can be thrilled. They confess they're in front of everyone. They're getting married after all. He says to her, I do. She says, I guess me too. Now they're all gonna live a happily ever after. Benedick can be a trip. This is all the part that I know you all want to sing at home in just a second. So you can do it, but don't go on my kid, be weird. One more, you call along. What you do about nothing. It's a fade out song, otherwise so I gotta end it that way. Thank you, people that I
Brian Bear, everybody.
Hey, it's me.
Yes. So, Brian,
Elton.
you got anything else going on right now?
Not much really.
Okay.
You know, the world being what it is.
Right.
You can still go though and check out. I did some stuff with Ampersand Theater. They have a YouTube channel. I did some stuff there. And you can still listen to and watch Turn to Page Fun, the podcast with adventure books, Choose Your Own Adventure and the like. That's a podcast and a YouTube channel, as I said, with sexy hackers, with Mr. Nick.
Wait. They can still get that?
Oh,
They can.
I gotta tell them. I gotta not post those anymore.
And it's you can also check out the companion podcast show, Who Let Me Read This, which I think is also still up.
Yes, it's still around.
Yay!
Still listen to it.
Maybe we'll do new ones sometime. I don't know.
You know, once we can all be in a room at the same time again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I think that's all I got.
Okay, anyone else got anything that they want to chime in with real quick? Yes, go ahead.
So every Saturday and Sunday, Nick and I do a show called Carrie Bradshaw's Bad Friend, where we watch Sex and the City and talk about it.
Carrie Bradshaw's bad friend.
Carrie Bradshaw's a bad friend.
She really is.
Nick's never seen it. I have. So we watch Sex and the City and mostly talk about relationships, really.
Well, I mean, given the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that happens Saturdays and Sundays.
If you're friends with us on Facebook.
No, there's a Facebook page for the show. It's called Carrie Bradshaw's Bed. Don't listen to that.
Yes. Actually, I feel bad. I have to get caught up. I'm a week behind on that. Anyone else got anything right away that you want to dive on? Cat hands. Okay. I'm going to assume then that we're all kind of, stuck with what we got going on right now. Awesome. So when we left our heroes, it's funny because one of the characters is named Hero. Moving on. When last we left our characters, they had just tricked Beatrice and Benedick into loving each other. Delightful. Don, John, and Borachio have set up a scheme to make Claudio not love Hero. Less wholesome. Let's see how that all plays out in Act 2 of William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. Act 3, Scene 2, a room in Leonato's house. Enter Don Pedro, Claudio, Benedick, and Leonato.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummated, and then I go toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedick for his company. He is all mirth, for what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. He thinks you're savage.
I hope ye be in love.
Old senor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 words to speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
Exeunt Benedick and Leonato.
For my life to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
Enter Don John.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good end, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be an impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me by that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath hope to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent, and labor ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
come hither to tell you, the lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she, Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal.
The word is too good to paint her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warrant, but go with me tonight. You shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day.
If I see anything tonight, why should I not marry her tomorrow? In the congregation where I should wed, there will I shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no farther till you are my witness. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Excellent. And then when we do this on stage, this is the part where we actually act that part out, where we have Margaret and Borachio like do stuff, and it's usually up in the balcony at Best Place. But obviously we can't do that, so just imagine that it happened. Moving on, scene 3, a street. Enter Dogberry and Vergus.
Well, get us our charge, neighbor Dogberry.
Well, you are to call at all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Why then let them alone till they are sober. If they make you not then the better answer, you may say they're not the men you took them for. Now, if you meet a thief, you may suspect him, by virtue of your office, to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly by your office you may, but I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself for what he is, and steal out of your company. Now, if you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
By then depart in peace and let the child wake her with the crying.
'Tis very true.
Well, this is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Exeunt Dogberry and enter Borachio.
Peace, stir not.
Stand thee close. Then under this penthouse for a drizzle's rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treason.
Therefore, know I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats, but know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the lady hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leads me out at her mistress's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw far off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was Hero?
Two of them did, and Prince and Claudio, but the devil my master knew she was Margaret.
I charge you, in the prince's name, stand. I have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that ever was known in the Commonwealth.
Excellent! That's why you don't just make random drunken confessions to strangers. Enter scene 5, another room in Leonato's house. Enter Leonato, Dogberry, and Vergus.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Well, marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Breathe, I pray you. For, you see, it is a busy time with me.
Mary, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, my good friend?
Goodman Vergus, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as, God help, I would desire they were. But in faith, honest is the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I'm as honest as any living man that is an old man who's no more honest than I.
Comparisons are odorous. Palabras, neighbor Vergus.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
Yeah, it pleases your worship to say so, but we are the poor duke's officers. But truly, for mine own part, if I were tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all on your worship.
All thy tediousness upon me.
Oh, yea, and 'twere 1,000 pound more than 'tis, for I hear as good exclamation on your worship as of any man in the city, and though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
Yeah, and so am I.
I would faith know what you have to say.
Mary, sir, our watch tonight, expecting your worship's presence, attain as errant a Dave as any and Messina. Messina?
Good old man, sir. He'll be talking, as they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. Well said, neighbor Vergus. Well, God's a good man, and two men ride a horse, and one must ride behind. An honest soul, of faith, sir, but by my troth he is, as ever broke bread. But God is to be worshipped. All men are not alike, alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor. He comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
One word, sir. Our watch, sir, has totally lost the page. Have indeed comprehended an auspicious person, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffocance.
Some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
Excellent. Act 4, Scene 1, a church. Enter Don Pedro, Don John, Leonato, Friar Francis, Claudio, Benedick, Hero, Beatrice, and attendants. Vergus is also Friar Francis. Screw it, I got it. You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No.
To be married to her, friar. You come to marry her.
Here's the priest.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do?
If either of you know any inward impediment, you know what I mean, why you should not be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter it.
No, you ain't hero.
No, none, my lord.
Know you any count?
I dare make his answer. None.
Oh, what man dare do? What man may do? What man daily do? Not knowing what they do? Stand thee by fright. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid your daughter?
As freely, son, as God can give her me.
And what I have to give back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing. Unless you render her again.
Shit. Sweet prince, you leave me noble thanklessness. There, Leonato, take her back again.
my lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity.
I know what you would say. If I had known her, you would say she didn't embrace me as a husband, and so and for sin no Leonato, I temper her with word too large, but as a brother to her sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
On these seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me as Dane in her orb, as chaste as the bud air in it bloom, but you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus. Are those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality?
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wide? Oh, I stole this hero's line.
Doug! Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What? Should I speak?
I asked.
I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True. Oh, God.
Let me move one question to your daughter, and by that flattery and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh, God, defend me. How am I beset? Is it not Hero? Who could blot that name with any just reproach?
Mary, that can Hero. Hero itself can blot out Hero's virtue. What man was he talked with you yesternight, out at your window betwixt 12 and 1?
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour last night talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed most like a liberal villain confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Oh!
Oh! Why, how now, cousin? Wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother her spirits up.
Exeunt Don Pedro, Don John, and Claudio. Ooh.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think.
Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
Have comfort, lady.
Wherefore?
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although until last night, I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed.
Hear me a little. Just listen. Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
I know that to accuse me. I know none. If I know more marionette alive than that which made in modesty doth warrant.
There is some strange misprison in the princes.
2 of them have the very bent of honor, and if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John, the bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
I know not. If they speak for the truth of her, these hands shall tear her, and if they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here, the prince, is left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in and publish it that she is dead indeed. We've seen this. She dying, as it must be so maintained, upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused over every hearer. So will it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she died upon his words, then he shall mourn, and wish he had not so accused her. The supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy, and if it sort not well, you may conceal her as it best befits her wounded reputation. He tricked her, we're going to trick him. Get it?
You've never read the end of Romeo and Juliet, have you? Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twines may lead me.
'Tis well consented presently away, for to strange sores strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day, perhaps it is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Exeunt all but Benedick and Beatrice.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yeah, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
Ah, how much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is that not strange?
As strange as the thing, I know not. It were as possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you, but believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Why then, God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
A whole wide world.
You will kill me to deny it? Farewell.
Terry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you, let me go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height a villain, that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! What bear her in hand until they come to take hands? And then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor. Oh, God, that I were a man! I I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out the window. A proper saying.
Nay, Beatrice.
Sweet hero! She is wronged. She is slandered. She is undone. Princess and counties. Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I would, had any friend would be the man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesies. Courtesies? Courtesies. He is now as valiant as Hercules. He only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice. By this hand I love thee.
Use it for love some other way than swearing by it.
Thank you in your soul. The Count Claudio hath wronged hero.
Yeah, as sure as I have thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account, as you hear of me. So think of me. Go comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. So farewell.
Exeunt. Scene 2, a prison. Enter Dogberry, Vergus, and Borachio.
Is our whole assembly appeared? Which are the officers that are to be examined? Let them come before me. What's your name, sirrah?
I am a gentleman, sir, and my name is Borachio.
Well, write down Master Gentleman Borachio. Master, do you serve God?
Yeah, sir, I hope.
Or write down that he hopes he serves God, and write God first, for God defend, but God should go before such a villain. Now, Master, it is proved already that you are little better than a false knave. I'll answer for yourself.
Mary, sir, I say I am none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about with him. Come you hither, sirrah, a word in your ear. I say to you, it is thought that you are a false knave.
Sir, I say to you, I am none.
Have you writ down that he is none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are his accusers, not just him.
Yeah, Mary, that's the eftest way. Let the watch come first. Oh, that's you. Master, I charge you in the prince's name, accuse this man.
This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
I'll write down Prince John a villain. Why, this is flat perjury to call Prince's brother villain.
Master, what?
Pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise ye. What heard him say else?
This Mary, that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John, accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
And that Count Claudio did mean upon his words to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain, thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this. What else?
That's it.
Come, let him be opinioned.
Let him be in the hands of...
Off, coxcomb!
God's my life, where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's officer coxcomb. Come, bind him, thou naughty varlet.
Oh, but you are an ass. You are an ass.
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass. But masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it not be written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. No, thou villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and which is more, an officer, and which is more, a householder, and which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as and he is in Messina. And one that knows the law, go two. And a rich fellow enough, go two. And a fellow that hath losses, and one that hath 2 gowns and everything handsome about him. I don't know what any of that was. Bring him away. Now that I've been whipped down an ass.
Exeunt. Act 5, Scene 1, before Leonato's house. Enter Don Pedro, Claudio, and Leonato separately.
Good day to you.
Hear you, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonato.
Some haste, my lord? Fare you well, my lord, and are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
Who wrongs him?
Mary, thou dost wrong me. Thou dissembler, thou... I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander hath gone through and through her heart. She lies buried with her ancestors. In a tomb where never scandal slept, save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, old man. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on my honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord, my lord.
I will not hear you.
Exeunt Leonato.
Oh, see. Here comes the man we meant to seek.
Enter Benedick.
Now, senor, what news?
Good day, my lord. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wilt?
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I just not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear it from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
Fare ye well, boy. You know my mind. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with him.
Exeunt Benedick.
He's in earnest.
In most profound earnest, and I'll warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
Did he not say my brother was fled?
Enter Dogberry, Vergus, and Borachio.
How now, my brother's man bound? Borachio, officers, what offense has this man done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanders. Sixth and lastly, they have belied a lady. And thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they're lying knaves. Yeah.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, I ask thee what is their offense. Sixth and lastly, why they're committed, and to conclude, what do you lay to their charge? Who have you offended that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood.
Oh, please.
What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. Do you hear me? And let this count kill me. I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the lady hero. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I have rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation, and, briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
What did my brother set thee to this?
Yeah, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Sweet hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved it first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonato of the matter, and masters do not specify what time and place shall serve, that I am an ass. Vergus, you want to say something?
Here comes the master Signor Leonato.
Re-enter Leonato.
Oh, there he is.
Which is the villain?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with the breath I breath has killed my innocent child?
Yeah, even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. The princess fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Record with your high and worthy deeds. It was bravely done if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I've not, but in mistaken.
By my soul, nor I.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both possess the truth of Messina here, how innocent she died. Hang her epitaph upon her tomb and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Yet my nephew, my brother hath a daughter. This is a copy of my child that's dead. And she alone is heir to both. Give her the right you should have given her cousin. And so dies my revenge.
O noble sir, your overkindness doth bring tears for me. I do embrace your offer and dispose forth hence of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow then I will expect you coming. Tonight, I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong.
No, by my soul, she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but always hath been just and virtuous in anything that I do know her by her. Dogberry, you're muted, man.
Your lip syncing, Dogberry.
Moreover, sir, which is indeed not under white and black, this plaintiff here, this is important, the offender, did call me ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in its punishment.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverend youth. I praise God for you.
Ah, there's for thy pains.
God save the foundation.
No, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
Well, I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart, and if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Exeunt Dogberry and Vergus.
Until tomorrow morning, lords. Farewell.
We will not fail.
Tonight, I'll mourn with Hero.
Exeunt. Scene 2, Leonato's garden. Enter Benedick and Beatrice.
Hey, Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yes, senor. And depart when you bid me.
Stay but till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well now. And yet, ere I go, let me go with that I came, which is with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Thou hast frightened the word out of the right sense.
You skipped
so
the line. Go back.
forcible as thy wit.
Go back. Go back. You're
We were just
Beatrice.
finishing each other's sentences. We're so perfect. Right?
You're Beatrice. Foul words is foul wind.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore, we'll depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of this right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must shortly hear for him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And I pray thee now, tell me, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
Or them all together, which maintained so politic a state of evil that they will not admit any good part of intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love. A good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart? I think, alas, poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours. For I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably. How doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill, too.
It's almost like there's an infection going around. Serve God, love me, and men. There will I leave you too. For here comes one in haste.
Enter Margaret.
First of all, I'd like to say how big of a role I have actually had in this. So listen. Madam, you must come to your uncle. Yonder's old coil at home. It is proved my lady hero hath been falsely accused. The prince and Claudio mightily abused. And Don John is the author of it all, girl. Who is fled and gone? Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news? Oh, that's mine. We finished
Will
doing
you
sentences.
hear this news, senor? We are even.
We are so, there we go. I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
Exeunt all.
You better, motherfucker.
Scene 4, a room in Leonato's house. Enter Leonato, Benedick, Beatrice, Margaret, Friar Francis, Hero, Don Pedro, and Claudio, and 2 or 3 others. Because why not?
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good Tomorrow, Claudio, we here attend you. Are you yet determined, stay to marry my brother's daughter?
I'll hold my mind. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same as she, and I do give you her.
Why then, she's mine. Sweet. Let me see your face.
No, that you shall not, till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this holy friar, I am your husband. If you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife! Oh, snap! And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero?
Nothing certainter. One hero died defiled, but I do live, and surely as I live, I am a maid.
Soft and fair, friar. Where is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do you not love me?
Why, no more than reason.
Why, then, your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Troth. No, no more than reason.
Why then my cousin Hero and Margaret are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore that you were almost sick of me.
They swore that you were well nigh dead for me.
It is so much matter. It is no such matter anymore. Then do you not love me?
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Oh, come, cousin. I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon that he loves her. For here is a paper in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here is another, written in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedick.
A miracle! Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light I take thee for pity.
Would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for what I was told, you were in a consumption.
Ah, peace, I will stop your mouth.
Kissing!
How dost thou, Benedick? The married man.
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of wit crackers cannot flap me out of my humor. Come, we are friends. Let's have a dance here. We are married, that we may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels.
Dancing.
Enter Vergus and Don John. Vergus. I think you're muted, Vergus.
Vergus and Don John.
Burgess and Don John, what are you doing here?
He said, and he brought men back.
Think down on him till tomorrow.
My lord, your
Otherwise-
brother John is taking it.
Yeah, my brother John is taken in flight and brought back with armed men back to Messina.
Well, there's a lot of work to get those words out, but think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise the brave punishments for him. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee away. Get thee away.
Any way you want it, that's the way you need it.
Any way you want it. Was alone.
All right, that is our show. Okay, tonight as Margaret was Jerod Freitag. As Vergus and Friar Francis, Michelle White. As Dogberry and our musical accompaniment, Brian Bayer. As Borachio, Nicole, Allee. As Hero, Nick Fearer. As Claudio, Bonnie Elliott. As Leonato, David Kaye. As Don John, Jim Donaldson. As Don Pedro, Sarah Wallisch. And yeah, I got everyone else. As Claudio, as Benedick and Beatrice. Jason Myers and Joshua Klingman.
Kiss,
Yes.
kiss,
Kiss. That was weird. That's very weird.
Very weird.
All right. My name's Jeremy Eineichner. Our casting manager was Christy Rines. She wasn't in the show tonight, but she did a lot of work, so I felt like giving her some props. So yeah, that is all we got for tonight. See you in 2 weeks for A Christmas Carol. If you have not yet donated to Diverse and Resilient, check it out in the event description, and we will see you guys then. I want to thank all the players for doing what they do. I want to thank everyone else who acted in a support position, Christy, and Sarah for having a paid Zoom account so we can do shows longer than 30 minutes. But most importantly, I want to thank each and every one of you, because without you, we are just a bunch of drunks with a weird hobby. It's really hard doing that over Zoom. Good night, friends.
Now you'll all have that in your heads all night.
Oh yeah, it's the worst.